Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I know how excited you are for another episode of Post to Post with your hosts, brothers of discussion, myself, Grayson, and my compatriots in this excursion, my brother Will. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Other than being $500 poorer thanks to a trip to the vet yesterday, I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully everything goes well. Just in general.
Oh yes, in general.
Little man's been through enough.
It's true. He's an old bastard, but he's my old bastard, and I love him.
Oh yeah, he's a bastard, that's for sure. Understatement of the century.
But you gotta remember, he's a bastard that everyone loves for some reason.
Yeah, he's fine.
Can't deny it. No matter how much they say they still love him.
Old sister of discussion, her dog should be back with her hopefully in like 2 weeks.
I heard.
Now, if that's true or not, whole another story. It's a story for another show's podcast, but
yeah.
Homegirl has told me absolutely nothing, so I have no idea what's going on.
Hey, it's roll the dice. We'll see what happens when it happens. But let's talk about some wrestling. Wrestling. Well, speaking of wrestling, before we jump into the main topics, one just finished season 3 of APBio. The next to last episode was amazing because it was wrestling themed, and it had 2 lovely wrestling related cameos. One, goddamn Aaron Stevens, or some people know him, Damien Mizdow. He played a strange lumberjack character.
Is this tradition?
Yep. And then, everyone's favorite wrestling-related comedian, Ron Funches.
Yeah, Ron's cool. I liked Ron.
Mm-hmm. And he played the local top-of-the-top wrestling personality and school janitor.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was a damn fine episode. Damn.
I've heard the new season starts tomorrow, actually, on our good friends at Peacock.
Yep. I'm excited because apparently Bruce Campbell is in the new season.
Oh, nice.
Playing Jack's dad.
Just because of him being there, I might need to actually watch it. I've already told you, I couldn't get super into it.
Season 1 takes a minute to find its footing. Towards the last, 4 or 5 episodes, it gets real good. But once they hit season 2 and that main story arc is done, where he's out to get that other philosopher, everything's gold. It's so much better. And season 3 was just really short, but good.
I mean, it seems like a show I should like, you know. I love It's Always Sunny. This is nothing about wrestling. I love It's Always Sunny. And, you know, okay, let me tie it to wrestling. And that wrestling episode was great.
Mm-hmm.
Trash Man.
Yeah. Now, I will give you one other thing. One of the characters' wrestling personas that they do is also trash related.
Perfect.
And it's one of the main characters as well. And he's also one of the bigger characters.
Patton Oswalt?
No.
Oh.
No. But in the episode before that, Patton Oswalt definitely does full-blown ska talk with one of the kids.
Oh, I've seen the clip of that, and it was great.
Yeah. It was a great episode.
Yeah. That made me want to go back and watch it whenever I saw that clip.
Skanky Doodle Dandy.
Like a couple, I don't know, almost a year back, I feel like. It's probably been a while, but never did.
It's good stuff, man. You should definitely go back and check it out, and anyone listening should go check it out, too, just for the payoff of one wrestling episode. But there's more to it.
It could also be like fucking Bob's Burgers. I fucking hated Bob's Burgers. Like, that whole, first season was just not good. Then, like, the second season, I didn't watch it until it hit, like, season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that first season, and I was living with a buddy Danny at the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was like, and he kept watching it. Sorry, he didn't get me to watch it. He just kept watching it, was always wanting to watch it, and I was just like, dude, I fucking hate this show. I don't want to watch it. And I just grew a resentment towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the lady, she was watching it, and I was watching one of the later episodes, like, okay, this episode's pretty funny. I might need to start over.
Yeah.
First season, I still don't like the first season, but I love that show.
Yeah. It definitely is one that took a second to find out what humor angle it wanted to go with, and once it found it, it was done.
Much like WWE, except they haven't figured it out yet.
No, it's like they figured it out in the 80s, and then they haven't tried to make it work since.
No, they figured it out in the 80s, and then they tried something new, and it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried something new in the late 90s, and then
And
with
they
that
figured it out again.
they haven't figured it out since the Attitude Era ended.
Yeah, and speaking of really not figuring things out, first, they halfway had shit figured out with NXT until the news from the past week.
Oh, my God.
Holy
yeah,
God.
Okay.
First,
Let us know. First off, let us know what you think in the comments.
Oh, yes, please do.
We would love to know. Please do.
Please.
Leave a comment.
Mm-hmm. But, yes, first, who in the fuck are they fooling with that new fucking logo? I mean, shit. That is...
Yeah. So with this new logo, right, all they refer to it as is the black and gold brand. Black and gold brand. Every single pay-per-view, if they do a cameo on a show or whatever, or it's from NXT, the black and gold brand, they always say it.
Yep.
And now they've got, like, a blind Jackson Pollock with heavy brush strokes made a logo.
Yep. I mean, really, like we were saying before the show, and like I've also seen some comments online, they took the colored background from the AEW logo and made it into separate splotches and put it inside of a reworked NXT typeface.
Yeah. So I never got to it. You know, business had to be attended to.
Mm-hmm.
But so, like, to an extent, yes, that's what I feel like they did. You know, because you know when you watch the old intro, I think it was the 2020 year intro. You know, every time they did like a move in that intro, plume of colorful clouds or like sprayed cloud color would show up on the screen and stuff. And then at the end, it kind of like shoot some color at the screen. And I swear, I couldn't find it, but I swear I felt like I've seen like a pink tie-dye-ish background behind the AEW logo. I might be going crazy on that, but I swear I remember seeing it. And now, it kind of got rid of all the color stuff, but at the end, there's still like a faint poof of like yellow and some color coming in from the sides, but it's mainly like the gray background. It's like it's been a year, and now we're over halfway through this year when they updated their shit for 2021. The WWE's like, let's take that 2020. Let's take that 2020 background and just don't make it a background. Place the black and gold, make it color. And that's what they did. That's what it does feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a fan of it, but I don't know if it's more of just, you know, it's my inner grew up in a Republican household being afraid of change, or if it's really just bad.
I'm gonna say it's just bad.
I'm fine with this.
I'm not even.
I'm not going to argue that.
The benefit of the doubt. I'm just going to say the redesign is bad because they've taken it from something recognizable that they can refer to easily, and they've turned it into Technicolor vomit.
So here's what's also great I don't know if you noticed this, but their most recent logo that they just replaced lasted an entire 2 months. when they brought like the black crow with the NXT logo, I think that was June. I think that happened in June.
Wow.
And they started using that, and then now it's this tie-dye color scheme. And before that it was just NXT and a minor change. Like, it's vertical, it's horizontal. They added the WWE logo in the middle of the X. Small, minute changes. Then in June they did the first big change, and it was sort of the big black crow with the NXT logo.
Yeah.
And now it's later. Boom. Hope you like color. Now it could be representative of like an inclusion type deal for NXT, where it has a mixture of everything, like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and it could read into that. And that's if you want to look too deep into it, because it sure shit don't. But I've read some comments on it. Some people actually like the logo. I'm cool for them. At this point, no. It might grow on me, and I'll learn to love it because of what I previously said. I might just be afraid of change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really a fan right now, and I really also hate the other decision that we were talking about. Segue over into that.
Oh God.
So NXT is now going to be led by Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard.
Ladies and gentlemen, you might as well just go ahead and say fuck it and give up on WWE putting out anything of any substance now. NXT, to me, was the sole property keeping that shit halfway tolerable.
One person made a post. It's like, after all this stuff with NXT, they were like, NXT new logo this week, Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon next week. 2 weeks from now, Paul Levesque is all elite.
Oh man, if that happened, God, Vince would disown his ass.
Oh my God. It's just like, they've literally taken like his baby away from him.
I know.
It's like CPS did not need to be called.
Creative product services.
Yeah.
Not child protective services.
Exactly.
Or should I call it creative protective services?
There you go.
There we go. Excellent. Yeah, they did a boy Triple H dirty. He was making better product, and their tiny egos couldn't handle it. And they're like, oh no, he's doing it all wrong. This is the shits. I gotta take it over. And
need more Ava Marie. She's good shit.
You know what NXT is missing? It's missing Brock Lesnar. Yeah, but you know what? Speaking of Brock Lesnar, man's come back again for like the 900th goddamn time.
You end up watching
no
matches that I told you to watch?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's upsetting.
I shit you not. I've been so fucking busy. The only reason I was able to squeeze Empowerrr and everything in is because I had everything playing at double speed. Like, I just went into settings, I was like, ×2 speed, and I watched everything, 3-hour pay-per-views in an hour and a half.
Rookie mistake.
The only way you can get that shit watched.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I'm trying to just cram it in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got to get stuff watched for this, and those are some big events from over the weekend, so I needed to get them so we could talk about them. But that meant SummerSlam, since it already happened, had become, if I get back to it, I'll do it. But still, yeah, speaking of top-knot, weirdo, I've become a hipster, Brock Lesnar, he's come back again with a super cushy contract.
Yeah, it's a pretty good contract. I mean, he only has to make 8 appearances, or 8 matches, sorry. Mm-hmm. He only has to wrestle 8 matches. And it's not like all the time, it's only a 1.5-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cushy.
I mean, hella cushy.
You know, it's probably like $1 million a fucking appearance.
Yeah. It's going to be quite the lucrative option for him. And I mean, hell, take that money, Brock. You do you.
And I was right. They're pushing him as a big face.
Yep.
So, that's going down.
Mm-hmm. And
it'll be good. It'll be the first time he's ever been a face.
And what brand did they put him on?
He's on SmackDown. Everyone's favorite. I mean, obviously, a SmackDown. He's challenging Roman Reigns.
Oh no! What does that mean? All because Becky's what? SmackDown as well.
Yeah, Becky came back and won the SmackDown title. So now SmackDown on Fox has 2 of the supposed biggest draws, and I can agree with Becky. Our personal opinion, I don't think Brock is, but I think he does put the eyes on the tube.
Mm-hmm.
So, just for that, someone is going to be making a stink, and we already know it's USA Network.
Oh yeah, the home of WWE for 30 goddamn years.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not getting that Fox money.
No.
So, what are you famous for, USA Network? La Femme Nikita?
Duckman.
La Femme Nikita.
Weird Science, the TV series. USA Cartoon Express.
But but yeah, so
Campus Cops.
So they're mad, and they're trying to... Fuck Campus Cops. What the hell are you doing with that? That show was so bad, I don't even remember it. And I remember all the shitty shows. Hell, most of them I got on DVD.
Somebody's got to remember it.
Yeah, I've got the entire series of Legend of Zelda, and I don't even remember Campus Cops.
I have the Zelda one, too.
It's such a bad show. I tried to watch it the other day. It's like, excuse me. It's like 10 times in an episode. Dude, shut up.
Oh, I know. It's like everyone needed a fucking catchphrase back in the day, and goddamn if they didn't ruin our boy with it.
Shut up, Link.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So USA's making a stink. So go ahead and expect this to be temporary. The Brock Lesnar, Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, one of them will end up on the other brand. I would say more likely it'll be Becky than Brock because Brock's such a short-term thing.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Becky because they'll be able to do more with her over the course of time.
This is true.
But yeah, they God. They just shit the bed all the time. Now, in less wonderful news, or let's say on a more serious note, apparently Rikishi has put out a call for help to the populace at large, especially in the greater San Francisco area, for some ill deeds that went down and were perpetrated against his family back in, July?
Yeah, it occurred at the end of July.
Yeah. So, this post by Rikishi just showed up either today or late yesterday. He put up a $50,000 reward for anyone that can help out the San Francisco police with finding who discharged a firearm, killing his niece and injuring another woman. So, as I saw on the internet, and I will quote this because I was like, yes, that makes total sense. Somebody fucked with the wrong family.
Oh, show. You don't fuck with the Kishis. Come on now.
No, you don't fuck with them. I mean, as much as I dislike Roman, I mean, they done fucked with Rikishi.
Now, I don't know the details behind
Roman,
that,
the Usos.
So I don't know the details behind it, and I don't really want to turn to a morbid discussion, so maybe just not off the top of your head. Do you know if it was more of a stray shot that did it, or was it more of a she was the target? That's what I couldn't find.
I don't know. I really don't see why she would have been like the target. Yeah. It seems more of just, if I were to go with the cliche, probably some sort of gang bullshit and then being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's kind of what I see from the situation. And still yet, even if it was inadvertent and they were collateral damage, they still fucked with the wrong people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because, if they started getting rock money in there, somebody find somebody real quick. Even though it's past, our condolences, and I do hope that this push does help find the parties responsible for this and bring them to justice. Nobody wants that sort of shit to happen to them, and to see it happen to someone who was a big part of our youth as a member of Too Cool, and also as Fatu back in the day.
Oh, Fatu.
I want them to have, I can't say a happy ending, but I want them to get closure.
Yes.
Yes. So, fingers crossed that something comes of this reward that they've put up, and justice is served. Now, to lighten things up, we've got a little bit of hearsay about two former WWE performers. We all know about the Adam Cole contract. We've talked about it a bazillion times since long before it was up. It's up. They had their talk with WWE. Well, apparently he has officially parted ways with WWE.
Last Friday was his last day.
Mm-hmm. Parted ways, not just he's a free agent still working for them. Apparently, parted.
Yeah, he didn't sign a short-term extension like he did with and I think a lot of it that played a factor was probably their thoughts around alternate money-making methods like cameos, Twitch, stuff like that. Because he has a pretty popular Twitch channel. He really enjoys streaming, and I know when you hit the main roster, that's when it hits your contract. And I think they wanted to take him to the main roster. This is all theory and speculation, of course.
Yeah.
Wanted to take him to the main roster. So that's why they probably already had the plan of him losing to O'Reilly in their big blow-off.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, I'm not giving up my streaming. Because he even said it on stream very recently, I'm not giving this up. There's nothing. So they probably weren't willing to budge on it, and he's like, you take your money and shove it. Because he seems like someone who would be like that guy.
Yeah, and also, apparently his wife, Dr. Britt Baker, has been dropping little hints on Twitter and such pretty regularly as of late. So, will we see Adam Cole join the illustrious ranks of AEW, the hottest place for people to turn up by surprise? Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, he could easily show up this weekend if he wanted. Because
I know, it's true. Could he? It would be cool as shit if he did. Will he? Who knows? Will Daniel Bryan show up? Or Bryan Danielson? I'll use his non-WWE name, Bryan Danielson. Will he show up? Who knows? Maybe. It'd be badass.
They won't do both.
Oh, no.
It would be one or the other, because they're going to stagger that shit.
It'd be too much to do both. It's just I wonder who they would pop with first. Would they pop Cole straight in with the Elite?
So that's a good question. So, the original plan that I've heard tell was Bryan Danielson, so we're going that route, wasn't going to show up probably till late September.
Yeah.
And honestly, with the whole big Elite story going on right now, and their hints of, performing seances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with COVID, they were probably going to bring in Bryan Danielson sooner than later. And it was probably going to be pushed up to All Out. Mm-hmm. Now, with Adam Cole being in play, they could easily delay the Bryan Danielson stuff again, and then play the Adam Cole coming back into the fold because of the big storyline with Christian as a sort of secret weapon that comes in and ends the match so Kenny keeps his belt.
Yeah. That could work pretty well. It's
a little hackneyed, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a little hackneyed and, cliche, but it fits. It does. It makes sense.
It would get the job done.
Let's save some of that chit-chat for when we get to...
yeah, we can save it.
AEW. We don't want to blow the load too early, as they say. Now, the other former WWE employee, part of the recent Release-a-Mania for this year, Braun Strowman. Rumor has it, Impact?
Yeah, I think Scott D'Amore tweeted something like Braun for glory.
Ooh.
So the rumor is he might debut for TNA
at Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I said it. I felt like he should be in TNA anyways. So
yeah, Impact, I think, has a better fit for him in terms of just the people there to work with. You've got Moose, who's fucking enormous. Moose and Braun would be a good program.
Yes.
And honestly, a lot of those dudes in TNA, they're all veterans for the most part, and they can definitely teach him a little bit more.
Yes.
He's leaps and bounds better than when he first, started out with the Wyatt family way back when. But there's still a lot he can do to improve. And I think with the huge number of really good vets in that promotion, he would do well there.
My other question is, this could also be a way for AEW to keep good ties with these other wrestling companies they're supposed to be wrestling with, to not take up every single person who has name value onto their ranks.
Agreed.
Agreed. Divvy the talent out because they're all working together. You'll still be in AEW at some point doing matches with our talent, but we're not just going to poach you from everyone so no one else can have them. Because that's not what their ethos seems to be.
No. It also is a good plan because, one, Impact is doing a lot more inter-promotional work than some of the others. They're all doing a little bit. But Impact is definitely sending more people to NWA. They're sending more people to Japan. They're sending more people to fucking AEW than, say, AEW, etc. are sending elsewhere.
Yes.
Impact's even, sending people to fucking AAA and back. So Braun going to Impact, he's going to get a much wider... he's going to have a lot more avenues to pursue to vary his style and get better. Another thing I would like to see, Braun versus Black Taurus.
Be fun.
That would be a clash of styles to beat hell. Black Taurus is fast as fuck and big as shit, and Braun's big as a motherfucker. So you put those two together, I think it would be a damn fine match. Lucha Libre versus Strong as Fuck. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Braun. I'm excited. Maybe we'll hear some more rumor out of Bray Wyatt's camp here before too long. But I haven't seen anything pop up there in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen any news on him or any rumors even. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he probably still has a non-compete. He probably can't even like look at contracts for another 60, 70 days.
Yeah. I mean, probably a little long. Well, I'd say probably closer to like 60 days.
Probably. I mean, I don't remember the exact day he was released. I just remember.
Yeah, I feel like it was
early August or something.
Early August or into July, something like that. So, I mean, it'll be at least October, November before you really hear anything.
Yep.
So, Bray is in the wind, but Braun we can definitely look forward to because he was released a bit before that.
I would like Rowan to show up somewhere.
I would too.
Like, legit show up, not just a one-off appearance.
I know, that one-off appearance was great, but he really needs to, I would love to see him show back up somewhere. On the regular. Now, this past weekend was one of the big events a lot of people have been looking forward to, and we had seen hyped up on Impact and even AEW quite a bit. But NWA held their 2-day series of events. On Saturday of last week, you had NWA's Empowerrr, the first all-women pay-per-view. And then Sunday, you had NWA 73. Well, I can safely say, out of the two, Empowerrr was the better program. Truly, I enjoyed Empowerrr so much more. So much more. I mean, don't get me wrong, 73 was pretty good. But the talent pool for the men's division, it was mostly the NWA talent pool, and with a select few exceptions, it's not very impressive. The women's division, however, was pulling from fucking AEW, Impact, AAA, and NWA all at once, and it was great. There were so many cross-promotional things, and everybody got like a moment to shine. I would have figured, if it'd been WWE booking something like that, the WWE talent would have won every fucking match. But they did their women's tag tournament finals there on Empowerrr. And earlier in the night. And the AEW team of Red Velvet and Kylan King made it to the finals. I was very, very surprised in that they put over the AEW team. Another match that I'm trying to think of, it was one of the earlier ones in the card. It was another time where NWA put the other promotion over. Deonna Purrazzo, she wrestled Melina. I mean, it was a damn good match. And you almost thought that, Impact was going to put over Melina for a second there. But, no, Purrazzo won. She kept her knockouts belt. But it was a fucking great match. It was. Plenty of false finishes. People actually favoring the body part that was being worked the whole time. And even better, the fact that Purrazzo had been working Melina's knee the entire match. When she came back out, Melina, at the end of the show, during their big send-off, she still came out hobbling with her arm around someone else, helping her out. I was like, kudos for not forgetting that you just went through the fucking ringer and had your shit wrecked.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. Also, I thought it was going to be a straight-up squash. But fuck if the Camille and Layla Hirsch match wasn't enjoyable as shit. Like, I thought they were just going to go full big girl on Layla and just have Camille just dog the fuck out of her. No. No. It was a legit, match. And it, for sure, it definitely gave Layla Hirsch the rub. Like, it made her look like a legit contender for a title. And, I recommend you taking a moment to peep that one whenever you get a chance to.
I could probably do that.
Yeah, but it was super, super good. Finals. The main event of the evening, though, was... before I go to that, Chelsea Green is the match I was trying to think of. Her match for number one contender for the NWA Women's title. I didn't think they'd put her over, but they put Chelsea Green over. And she had a match against Camille at 73 the next night. And then the main event for Empowerrr was the Hex, which is Marty Bell and Allison Kay, so the former NWA Women's Champ. Those two against Kylan King and Red Velvet. You knew for a fact that, and this is for the inaugural, not inaugural, the first time in 30 some odd years that there's been a women's tag team champion duo. And the NWA team got to bring those belts back into the foray. So they did beat the AEW team, but who didn't see that one coming? But recommended anyone that hasn't watched Empowerrr. Granted, I did a shit job of hyping it up because I can only do so much. In regard to me sounding excited, I am much more excited sounding than it may seem. But definitely give it a watch if you haven't. I think there's probably a package deal for both still on the fight, or you can pay $20 for one of them. I believe it was. So definitely check it out. 73, it's pretty good. I pretty much watched everything except for 2 matches. I was almost through Camille and Chelsea Green's title match. I didn't hear anything about Chelsea Green walking away with the belt, so I know that Camille won. I did not see the tag team title match with Aaron Stevens and Kratos versus whoever they were going up against. I don't remember that one from the card, but I do know that the big match of the night, fucking finally, they let someone beat that dickhead doesn't do a fucking thing but talk, Nick Aldis. Thank fucking God. Trevor Murdoch got some shine. He is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. And it makes me happy.
They did a strong tribute for Harley Race at the end of that.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm. Well, they just talked about Harley Race a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also because if I remember correctly, Trevor Murdoch was trained by Harley Race.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and I feel like Nick Aldis has some tie to Harley Race as well. But, Harley was the legendary NWA champion, and then his protege, Trevor Murdoch, has that same, everyman type of angle that Harley had, just this bruiser brawler type. And it's, I think if they let Trevor Murdoch hang on to that belt for a little while and let him actually work, I think he'd be a damn fine champ. The downside is I really feel like they're going to put it back on Aldis sometime soon.
Yeah, I can believe that. It'll probably be like when Cody got it. He'll keep it for a month or two. They'll do a rematch. He'll get the belt back, hold it for another 3 years.
Oh, yeah. 3 years and wrestle 4 fucking times. The lazy sack of shit. I'm a champion's champion. I defend this belt all the time. Motherfucker, you haven't done shit but run your damn mouth. Kudos for playing a heel character that people fucking hate, because I fucking hate you. But don't talk about defending the belt and, wrestling, because you don't fucking do it. You wrestle a cushier schedule than Brock Lesnar, let's put it that way. And I never thought I'd use Brock Lesnar as a halfway positive thing for himself, making him seem better than somebody. I feel dirty now.
Oh, welcome to the club.
Ugh. I don't like it.
Well, I want to get used to it.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's bad.
I've learned to live with myself.
Ugh. Never again. But yeah, I mean, overall 73, it was decent. It was not as strong a card, in my opinion. I mean, they started off with a fucking hardcore match, basically, between Tim Storm and Tom Latimer. And, fuck, I forgot the other guy's name. But it was a third person, one of the members of Crimson, one of the tag members there. He got fucked up at the beginning because I think his tag partner came out and turned on him and threw him through a ladder. And he got escorted back to the back. And then he came back halfway through the match. But, yeah, it was kind of boring. It was. I wasn't invested in that match at all. Then you had a tag match, or three-man tag, six-man tag, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I always get the goddamn names mixed up. But the former Brodus Clay, a.k.a. Tyrus, and the masked wrestler, and I forget the third guy's name, against the Pope and those two big burly motherfuckers that are a tag team there. I'm shit with names. I had their name and then I fucking lost it. And honestly, they're kind of cool, but they're not cool enough for me to want to look up their name. I apologize to anyone that's hoping for it. Just watch the show. But yeah, it made sense from a story standpoint because Tyrus and Pope has been feuding for a while. Tyrus has the TV title. He beat Pope for it a little while back. And, well, this is kind of one of their go after each other with their respective crew type of deals. It was a match. That's all I can say about it. It was a match. I wasn't super hyped over it. Tyrus looks real funny in the ring with his singlet. It's very awkward. I'd say the biggest thing of the night for most people was probably the incredibly long speech by Ric Flair midway through the show. It was just, and you said it best. What did Billy Corgan say about Flair?
Ric Flair has earned the right to say whatever he wants in the middle of the ring.
There we go. I definitely agree with Billy. Granted, at times, I think you gotta give that little treat to Flair in doses, not all at once. You gotta bring him in just a smidge, because 95% of that speech was him complimenting WWE. Like, he gave shout-outs to Vince, the WWE, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Charlotte, numerous times throughout this little speech. And only for a brief segment towards the end did he really talk about many of the NWA folk. He did, use those WWE shout-outs as like segues into Wii stories and anecdotes about Harley and Bruiser Brody, etc. But it was good to see Rick. He sounded really good, which, after that stroke he had a while back, was good to hear that he was sounding good. Like, it was damn near classic Flair delivery. He even hit the ropes and did a strut. I was like, well done, Rick. Well done. But it was a bit long. Main thing, for the nostalgia pop and seeing the Nature Boy back in the NWA, cool as fuck. What could come from this? Who knows? Hopefully, he just, comes in, does some things every now and then, maybe does a little commentating, something like that. That'd be pretty sweet. Will they be able to afford it? I don't know. But I guarantee you they'll try to get Flair to come back pretty regularly.
They could afford it.
Yeah.
Rig doesn't have as pricey of a tag anymore. Or pricey of a tag, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now. What else is he going to do? And he's already sold himself to the devil with auto insurance commercials.
And they were one of the sponsors of the show. And honestly, if our boy, the Wild One, Wes himself, did not bother to watch it, I will go ahead and say it. Wes, if you're listening, the entire show was also sponsored by your favorite beer, Busch Light. Even their top and bottom turnbuckles were Busch Light logos.
I feel about that.
Yeah. They had Busch neon lights hanging up everywhere. Every so often you'd have a Busch promotion and title card pop up as like a commercial break. I was just like, damn. Throwing out the car shield stuff every once in a while too. I was like, shilling. But I mean, hell, at least Billy didn't have to front the whole cost, so there's that. But, yeah, let's go ahead. As much as I enjoyed the NWA, since I was the only one who watched it, let's go ahead and jump in and do a little bit of predicting for New Japan, because they've got their big return, their big show this weekend, WrestleGrandslam 2. The first WrestleGrandslam was back in, I believe it was July, and it was at the Sumo Hall. This one is at the MetLife Dome, and it's a 2-night affair, and both nights have a pretty good card. So we'll start with night 1, bottom of the card. Team Flying Tiger versus LIJ. Flying Tiger, for anyone that doesn't know, is Robbie Eagles, the betrayer of Bullet Club, and Tiger Mask versus Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi of LIJ. Who do you think's going to get it, since Eagles and Hiromu have a match the next night?
It could probably be Eagles.
To me, I feel like they'd give Eagles the rub first night, and then the next night I know he's going to drop that belt in his first defense to Hiromu. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't, because they've been hyping up Hiromu's return for a while. Every time you saw him at ringside doing his announcing, since he got his most recent injury, they've definitely been hyping it up. All right, the next match, the blow-off of the newest feud that kind of you'd almost been seeing hints of it for years now. But Sho and Yo for Roppongi 3K, I can't remember, I feel like I mentioned it a few weeks back, but they finally split. I believe it was Sho stomped the dog shit out of Yo during their match with Suzuki-gun a while back. Just turned his back on him, beat the fuck out of him after the match was over, and rolled out. Well, they have their blow-off match at this show night. So, which one do you think? Big burly Sho, or still burly but with a bad knee Yo?
Who just came back?
Yo, I believe.
Yo's gonna lose.
Okay.
Joe's been putting in work.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much right there with you. He'll get the bigger push for sure. Let's put it this way. Yo came back from his knee injury. Or shoulder injury. I forget which one it was. I think it was knee. It was like all last summer. And not last summer, I mean summer before that. He didn't come back until this summer. And he got the shit beat out of him by his tag team partner Sho. So I'm definitely leaning on Sho for the win there. Because he has been putting in the work. Now, in classic New Japan fashion, I feel like they could give it to the underdog just to make their feud go a little longer. But I'm not sure what sort of payoff would be there in the long run unless one of them winds up getting like the junior heavy singles title or something.
Yeah.
So it could still brew under the surface, but I really feel like it's going to be a near one and done with a few clashes here and there. Next.
Is Rocky Romero still in the picture?
Rocky hasn't been around in a while. He's been doing more stuff on New Japan Strong stateside.
Yeah, then we're good. All right, that's fun. I was going to say Rocky could be a deciding factor if he was still doing things, but if he's not there, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He might wind up doing commentary for the match, but if that's the case, it'll be like it has been, where they do their commentary over like Skype or something.
Yeah.
All right, the next match. This is one where I wish John was here. Chase Owens versus Yano in an I Quit match for the King of Pro Wrestling trophy. I'm always going to choose Chase Owens.
Oh, 100%.
Because I want Chase Owens to always win.
He's the diamond in the rough, bro.
And I can't do it like John, so I'm not going to try, but...
Fuck Yano.
Book him.
Yeah,
all right.
No.
Next match. That behemoth Jeff Cobb versus Katsuchika Okada for what feels like the 50th time this summer. If you want some help deciding current stance as of 2 matches, this is the third. This is the rubber match, I guess, more or less. Well, I can't call it a rubber match. As of right now, the singles record between the two is 2-0 Okada.
It's hard to choose against Okada, but I'll go Cobb.
Okay. I'm going to... You know what? I'm not going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to go Cobb as well, even though I do enjoy Okada now compared to like when we first started watching him wrestle. He's so much more interesting, but I always want to see Jeff Cobb do well. It's one of those things. And since he's been, skunked 2 times in a row, they got to throw the dog a bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to happen. And now, the main event of night 1, the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kota Ibushi. Their record in singles matches is 3-2, with Tanahashi being favored.
Oh, I always choose Kota.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you.
But I feel like it takes away some of the steam from a potential Moxley matchup, which they're building towards.
Yeah, and also when he said he'd wrestle Lance Archer again for the belt, too.
Yeah.
So, you going to stick with Ibushi, or are you thinking Tana?
I'll still stick with Ibushi. Just because in a realistic sense, Ibushi kicked off a one-winged angel.
It's true.
No one else has. So, if Ibushi's in a match, I'll always pick Ibushi. And then if it's not... And then, I don't know. It's just... Wrestling stories kind of ruin it for me, because they'll do shit and then they'll kick out of everything and have a hard fought match, and then the next week they just lose from finger poke of doom.
Yeah.
There's no consistency in what damage they can take, so it's hard to tell, because Kota's been through hell and back and always won, or has won, not always. But then at the same time, he's lost from probably I don't know, just saying a move off the top of my head, like an Enziguri. So
yeah,
I still pick Ibushi, but for story purposes, it's probably going to be Tana, because there's more matchups to be made with Tana at this point.
Yeah, I feel like this is just like a holdover until Ibushi gets another run at the big belt. Myself, I think they're going to keep it on Tana because they're going to be able to do more things with the international talent with Tana than the others, because they're not going to let their... I mean, Tana's the ace of New Japan, but he also isn't the biggest name in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big name they can take everywhere.
Yeah.
That they don't mind working or even possibly losing against an out-of-towner, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I think Tanahashi's definitely probably going to get it more than anything else. All right, night 2. First match, we've got Chaos, the team of Chaos versus the United Empires team, the Chaos team being Tomohiro Ishii and Kazuchika Okada versus Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb. Classic New Japan setups. You give the people who had a match the night before another match that's in tag format to blow off some steam. Who we think's got it?
Who do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Empire.
You go Empire, huh?
Yep.
It's probably going to be the Empire.
Yeah,
I think it'll be Empire.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they should, because they really need to make the Empire look strong while Ospreay's away.
Yes.
And especially given Ospreay's anti-New Japan angle that he's working right now, it would really make sense to have his faction beat the New Japan, stalwarts. Alright, next, we've got Suzuki-gun, aka Kanemaru and El Desperado, versus Bullet Club, El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. The current champions being Bullet Club. I know for a fact, for me, I'm going Bullet Club.
Oh, of course. That's what I picked.
For life. I do love myself some El Desperado, but I'm going Bullet Club. Next, for the heavyweight tag belts, you have a three-way match. You've got Suzuki-gun's tag team of Dangerous Tekkers, CSJ and Taichi, who are the current champions, versus LIJ's entrants, Sonata and Naito, versus Chaos in Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto.
Sonata and Naito.
Okay. I feel like you are probably correct as well, because they had their run at it and didn't get it. So I feel like this is their retribution one, going against CSJ and Taichi. It may be their first defense since they became the 91st champions, but I feel like they're wanting that Sonata and Naito team to take off. And this will be a good way to do it. Especially since Taichi and CSJ already held those belts for a little while before dropping them to GOD.
Yeah.
Okay. First of the big matches of the night is now upon us. The one that we mentioned way back as being almost a given. Robbie Eagles in his first defense of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against former champion Hiromu Takahashi. Who you think it's going to be?
Hiromu.
But of course, if it's not Hiromu, I'd be fucking surprised. Because, I mean, you don't hype a man up like that while he's out on injury without, as soon as he gets back, him dogging the shit out of somebody that definitely screams transitional champion because they didn't want Hiromu to beat El Desperado. It kind of pisses me off that Robbie Eagles beat El Desperado, but it just makes it easier for me to stomach that loss, knowing that Hiromu's going to dog him and take him to school. All right, final match, 60-minute time limit, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Shingo Takagi in his second defense against Evil.
Bullet Club.
Because we always go Bullet Club for life, we're definitely going to make our official pick Bullet Club. But I will tell you this. Knowing the way that Will Ospreay has said what he has said, and knowing Shingo's comments of saying he won't feel like a true champion until he's legitimately beaten Will Ospreay, Shingo's not going to drop that belt. If he does, cool. It'll be a total surprise to me. But I don't see it happening. But I'm still going to pick Evil because Bullet Club's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now on to the biggest business there is, and the biggest event of this coming weekend. Goddamn All Out and AEW talk.
Finally, I thought I'd never get here.
Yeah, it took it a minute, didn't it? But like I said, we didn't have a ton to go over, but there were enough things last week to really, get a little bit ahead of time. So, Dynamite and Rampage last week. What'd you think?
I didn't watch Rampage.
You didn't watch Rampage?
No.
It was pretty good.
Dynamite was fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was Dynamite.
Yeah. Did you see Miro rip off Fuego's mask?
Oh, did he actually rip it off? Because I didn't see him, rip it.
Like, he
Again,
grabbed
I was working
and
when I was watching
jerked it off of his head, ripping that.
Oh, wow.
Like, completely just ripped it from his head. And Fuego drops, covers his face. Miro, kicks him around a little bit. And then our good boy Eddie Kingston runs out to more or less save the day.
So that means it's a feud between Miro and Kingston, huh?
Yep, because at All Out, they are going at each other for the championship, for the TNT title, and also because Miro called out Kingston week before last.
That should be a free fun match.
It should be. It should be.
I don't have the hate for Kingston like John does.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kingston's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that weird everyman pro wrestler body, And I enjoy it. I still think his spinning back fist looks like dog shit. But I enjoy watching him go. When he goes, he goes. But that finisher is it's weak sauce. Now, last week on Dynamite, we had the lead-ups to the tag team eliminator finals. We saw the Lucha Brothers move on, and we saw Jurassic Express move on Dynamite. And Friday night on Rampage, we finally got to see Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Brothers.
Who won that?
Lucha Brothers.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So my supposed calls could be in action this weekend.
Yeah, for a cage match, that's what needs to be chosen.
Uh-huh.
Or needs to happen.
I agree. So
I just don't know if Jungle Boy can carry a cage match.
No. I mean, you've got to have. To me, you need to have equal participants. Jungle Boy could do well. Luchasaurus would do all right, but he plays as an agile big man, and I don't see him working well with all the cage spots. They're going to start making the Young Bucks do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
even the fucking Luchas.
Oh, the Lucha Brothers. It's going to be a fucking madhouse inside that cage.
I could see this being the Lucha Brothers night.
Oh, me too. I really could. And like I said last week, if it is their night, depending on when that match happens in the card, because the card that I've got brought up shows that it's either one of, I believe it's going to be one of the earlier matches in the night.
Nice. That'll be good.
Yeah, so
that should be an opener, honestly.
That's what it is. After the Battle Royal, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like Battle Royal might be a kickoff thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it says pre-show, but, I still consider it part of it. But, yeah, Bucks and Lucha, that's the opener. Steel cage match. If they win, if the Lucha Brothers win, I feel as though there's going to be some way that Andrade is going to try to capitalize and take credit for it. saying they never would have won those belts if it wasn't for him to try and get them to turn on Pac.
Yeah.
Just because of the way that whole story arc's been building. But we'll see. I don't want Death Triangle to dissolve because they finally came back and it's been cool.
Yeah, I'd rather them. It'd be too soon. I mean,
Yeah.
Pac just came back. They finally got to pick back up where they were a year ago.
Yeah. It's like every time they get steam, something happens and they have to stop for a little while. I want Death Triangle to stay for a bit. But if things go the way that I hope they don't, but that I honestly see probably happening, I have a feeling they'll throw in with Andrade and stab Pac in the back.
Yeah, probably.
So it seems like something that'll happen. It does.
Yeah, it screams likely.
Mm-hmm. But we'll see. Other than that, everything from last week where it was just more lead-ups into our transition into this week's big pre-all-out shows. One thing that stood out from last week, Jamie Hayter made her in-ring return. It was a good match.
Yeah, that was a fun match.
Damn fine. She has definitely gotten way better looking in ring. Way better. And I can believe her being Britt's bodyguard, but I wonder for how long before she gets gold hungry.
Not long, man. I mean, after a couple saves, I would say it will be a few months.
Yeah, I give it till Revolution.
First they have to destroy Reba.
Mm-hmm.
Rebel.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name. They got to get rid of her out of the picture, or else she'll play a factor. It'll start drama with them. She'll lose, and then she'll be gone for a minute, and then maybe that'll push the Jamie Hayter. But I don't see Britt losing, and it could be her return as the oh my god.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I could. I personally, I give it till at least Revolution. Full gear at the earliest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if it's going to happen, it's going to be in a fashion that, where Rebel is sidelined some way, somehow. Maybe Hayter secretly takes her out. And they play some sort of angle where Rebel can't tell Britt that's happened. Or in some way where they've done some stuff ahead of time to make Rebel look less than trustworthy, and she doesn't believe anything that she says.
Break her jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Baker has to wire her mouth shut so she can't talk.
Okay.
Then
Plays in the dentist tank. Good. I like it. Yes, perfect. You've done it.
AEW, send me money.
Yes, indeed. Send him money, and me too.
By de facto, with no contribution.
I contributed, you son of a bitch.
Full-fledged podcast. Don't you try to take anything.
You had the dentist part. I brought up the keeping her from communicating part.
I get all of them. Taking it.
60-40.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
You'll get the 60. I'll be nice. Okay. But truly, nothing from last week really stands out to me. I mean, other than Brandon Cutler's People's Dab Bow, as I'll forever call it now, and also how much commentary made fun of it. They like to dab. That's as dated as those damn clothes. But it was fun to see him just dance around like a moron and then just boom, dab, and drop an elbow in pose on Frankie Kazarian.
And I want to like this new shtick with Frankie Kazarian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like they're going about it all wrong. He's the elite hunter, but like he just gets one-upped every time.
That's what we were complaining about before. I remember
I'm still complaining about it, but
yeah, I feel like we were talking about that. Maybe Weatherman or someone was like Weatherman was still doing stuff with us at the time. I forget, but it's one of the first times he had a big match, and I think Luke Gallows stomped the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, he's the elite hunter. He's been billed as this guy who's going to hunt down the elite for fucking up his boy, Christopher Daniels, and breaking up SCU. But every time they give him a badass push, within a week, he gets a mud hole stomped in his ass.
Unless they're playing like a long game where he's by himself doing all this, you know, like he has been, and it's slowly going to grow into a big uprising, much like WCW versus NWO.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm seeing a payoff.
Mm-hmm. He winds up having, you know, of course he's already got Christian Cage in his shadow. I'm going to say shadow just because Christian Cage is in the mix with him.
Yeah.
That by de facto means he's probably got Jurassic Express in there with him.
Yeah.
And that would lead towards possibly even having best friends behind them. But that's going pretty far. As long as we hit, you know, Frankie, Cage, and then the three members of the Lucha Brother, or not Lucha Brother, fuck, why did I say Lucha Brother? Jurassic Express, that right there is a pretty solid, you know, crew to go after the elite with.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the best crew to go after them with? No, because it's got Marco Stunt in it.
Well,
and I
am a fan of Stunt. So.
But it is what it is. So, the other part of last week is we got more CM Punk time.
Yes.
Yep. I like where he's at. I like how he's complimenting Darby and the other younger talent and talking about how much he wants to work with them. I'm fucking for it. It's just showing that either one, they paid him so well that he's going to talk nice about wrestling, which I hope isn't the case, or two, AEW and the way they're doing things has just revitalized his love of the business.
I think he's just revitalized.
I agree too, because I mean he was looking damn misty when he came out that first week.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's been rejuvenated. And to long story short, him and Darby's going to be a great fucking match.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to be super good. And I saw some stuff that happened on Dynamite earlier today, and I don't want to talk about that right now. I'll save it for next week. But it just makes me further think that this All Out show is just going to be a fucking barn burner. Anywho, shall we go ahead and just dive into predicting All Out, man?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll throw an idea out for the Women's Casino Battle Royal. So as of right now, the only announced competitors that I have via the list online, Kiera Hogan, Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, Emi Sakura, and then there's 8 other competitors that haven't been announced yet. The biggest rumor right now, and one that would make total sense, is that Ruby Soho, aka Ruby Riott, would be the biggest possibility for someone to debut.
Hey, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems to be heavily hinted at because I've seen it in a few different places already. And if it does, that's been played very close to the chest, and I'm fucking for it. But at the same time, there's 2 names on the list of people that have been announced that I see getting it before anyone else and winning this little casino battle royal. Those 2 being 1, my personal favorite, Thunder Rosa, and then 2, Jade Cargill.
I don't see Jade winning at all.
I do, because they've been promoting the fuck out of her. I mean, is she ready? Fuck no.
She's not winning, dude. She's
But
not. It's not happening. Go and count it off.
That's just what I would see happening if you're going to give her a big push and make her look strong. Put her in a battle royal with all these people and have her come out victorious. It all depends on placement. She'd have to be a later number to merely make it go over. And she'd have to eliminate one of the big hitters. That's the only way it would work.
I see her being an early entrant and eliminating a bunch of people, but I don't see her winning in any way, shape, or form, because it does the exact same purpose. It makes her good, but it doesn't defeat the point of the fact that she's just a terrible wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, you could be right, but it's just like that name right there with the amount of push and promotion they've been giving her over the past, 6 months leads me to believe that they're going to try and do something with her. And I think that this is an easy way to do it. Would it possibly work just as well if she won or didn't win and just eliminated a bunch of people as opposed to win? Possibly. But I'm going to lean more towards the win angle just because AEW does have a tendency to kind of fuck up things like this from time to time. And I just feel like this is one of those times where they would back the wrong horse. Would I agree with that choice? No. Because I don't like Jade Cargill. Her character is boring. Thunder Rosa, she's already had her time going after the belt, but I'll always back Thunder Rosa, 100%. But if Ruby shows up, I'll be very conflicted.
I feel like it'll be Ruby if she shows up. So I'm just gonna say mystery opponent, because there's always a mystery opponent.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of and just tradition, I'm going to go mystery opponent as well. Because it is tradition. And one day, tradition will be right for us. So far, we haven't had a hugely successful track record of it. But, what can you do? Alright, so the cage match. The Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers.
I think I mentioned I feel like this could be the Lucha Brothers thing. And I still feel that way.
Okay. I'll put you down for Lucha. I also agree, but I'm going to go and put the Bucks down just to play devil's advocate on this one. Because I want the show to at least get one of them right.
Defeats the purpose of predictions, but okay.
It doesn't defeat the purpose of predictions. It doesn't.
You're just picking them so someone gets it right.
It cheapens it slightly, but I don't often play the devil's advocate.
You do all the time.
Not all the time.
We both do it all the time.
See, then why are you giving me a hard time about it? We'll just let it happen.
Because I have logic behind it, not just, I'd like the show to get it right.
I mean, the logic behind it as well is keep the Elite looking good. Especially if there's possibilities of an Adam Cole debut. Why wouldn't you?
Nah, his debut will be affecting Kenny more so.
I mean, still yet. You affect one member, you affect all members. But it could also be a good way to pump up the Lucha Brothers having won. It would, reinvigorate the Bucks, who are probably feeling down on themselves. But I'm still going to go the opposite of you on this one, even though I definitely feel like Death Triangle needs some love. Next, Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship.
Miro.
Yeah, I'm going Miro as well because I still enjoy the God's favorite champion gimmick. I don't care who hates it. I love it. It's so bad it's good. So bad it's good. And I'm just waiting for the next version of him complimenting his hot wife in the most off-color way possible is going to happen.
Yeah.
Alright. Next, Mox versus Satoshi Kojima, the king of the rapid-fire chops.
Mox.
Yeah, it's going to be Mox. They're going to put on a good, strong style match. Kojima's going to get some chops off. Mox is going to eat them. And then Kojima's going to get a fucking paradigm shift, and we'll call it a day. All right. The women's title match. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander.
Baker.
Yeah, it's going to be Baker. As much as I want Statlander to win, it's not time. Baker's still riding the high. And if they're bringing in her hubby, she's not going to drop that belt yet. All right. The weirdest match of the night. Paul White versus QT Marshall.
Paul White.
Yeah. The former Big Show is going to get the rub.
Pat Cardona made a post and then commented and said QT Marshall was the best wrestler in AEW. Really went up that hill.
Man, Matt Cardona. You're wonderful right now. Alright. Title match. Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. Omega.
Yeah, it's going to be Omega.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it not to be.
No, I mean, they already
got the Impact belt. He doesn't need both.
I know. They already gave Christian his shine against Omega and played up the chink in the armor angle. Omega's not going to drop this belt. It's going to be a clean win. I doubt it. This is where we both believe the Adam Cole angle or situation could arise.
Yeah.
Because who better to save Kenny than the ghost of Adam Cole? What? You're not dead? No.
Oop, super kick.
That'd be glorious. Next, Pac versus Andrade El Idolo.
I don't want to pick against Pac. I feel like it's going to be Andrade because he needs a big win.
I mean, I know it's going to be Andrade. I've known that since they booked the match. It sucks because I hate the idea that as soon as Pac gets another big ticket match, he has to job out.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while since he's had like a main event style match. It has. But it makes sense that he won the big match at the first All Out. It makes sense that Idolo's first All Out, he wins his big match.
Yes.
So it's kind of a tit for tat type of situation. This is also the one where, even though I went with the Bucks earlier, this is where I would see if the Lucha Brothers win that match earlier, it's not going to be a clean, or it's not going to be a win that they can fully congratulate themselves with. Andrade is going to have a finger in the soup. That's my thoughts. We said it last week. If the Lucha Brothers were to win the titles in that cage match, Andrade is going to try to take credit for it some way, somehow, and get in their head. And then when he beats Pac, that's going to fully make them turn and join that kind of Latino faction that he seems to be trying to build around himself.
LWO, bro.
Oh, God. As nice of a throwback as that is, no. Let's not. Let's not. But, yeah, I could see that really happening, but I'm secretly just hoping against Hope that they don't fucking punk out Death Triangle and kill him like that. Every time Death Triangle gets some steam, they fucking, like, someone disappears or some shit happens, and they wind up wrestling shorthanded or as some weird modified version. And I want Death Triangle to be Death Triangle for quite a bit longer. Because I don't think they've had a real chance to shine yet. And if the Lucha Brothers do get those belts, I feel like Pac should at least... Pac would be the one to go against Miro and get the TNT belt if they stay together.
Yeah, I believe them.
So, those are my angles for both sides of the coin. Alright. Next, the match every motherfucker on the planet has been waiting for. CM Punk's return to the ring against AEW's Golden Boy and Strange Enigma, Darby Allin.
It's almost impossible not to pick Punk.
Yeah, I mean, Punk.
But at the same time, the argument could be made that he loses.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean, ring rust hasn't been there for 7 years. A small misstep and a roll-up victory for Darby. Not, decisive, or just squeaks it out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it can go either way because, one, Punk wants to prove himself still being best in the world. And that's going to be a big motivating factor, character-wise, to make him wrestle his best. Ring rust be damned.
Yep.
Darby is, to quote JR, tougher than a $2 steak. So, that right there is going to be one hell of a slog between the two of them.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they decide to play it out.
Mm-hmm. I know it's going to be a pretty fast affair, but if Punk's able to slow it down, it's going to get real cerebral.
I feel like it'll be, like, what do you say, a fast affair? Like a quick match?
No, I mean, they're going to be working fast.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see this
It's not going to be a fast match.
It's going to be, this is probably going to be like a 20-minute match full-fledged.
Yeah, this one's going to draw.
Hell, I could believe that as well. He goes the whole 20 minutes against Punk. No clear winner.
If they did a time limit draw, it would be an interesting thought, but at the same time, I'd also consider that almost a cop-out. But
not really.
I'm just saying almost. Not full cop-out. Almost. I don't know.
I'm still just gonna say Punk just because, but
yeah.
I mean, it's because it's Chicago.
Yeah, for the nostalgia pop, I'm definitely gonna go that route as well. But if you're gonna really want to work with the younger generation, it would make sense to put him over a little bit. But then again, Darby's so fucking over. If he lost to CM Punk, no one would even be mad.
No, not at all.
All right, and then the last one. NJF versus Jericho, and it's got the stipulation if Jericho loses, he doesn't wrestle in AEW again.
Yeah, so I've had some thought on this. I want to say MJF.
Oh.
But because Jericho's been around the block, he built AEW. It's in a place where he could
step away
finally.
Yeah.
And call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he's done wrestling. He can still go wrestle New Japan and all this stuff. So he can still do his matches, and that'll give him more scheduled time for his band stuff, which we know he enjoys.
Exactly.
And it's not like he's going to be gone from AEW. You just go do the commentary.
Yeah, I mean, he's already one of the commentary team on Rampage, so it would make sense.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying, I might just pick MJF, and that'd give him one hell of a fucking, heel heat.
Mm-hmm.
He took MJF I mean, MJF took Jericho away from the people.
Oh yeah. You know for a fact that if MJF did win, that stipulation's not going to last.
Oh yeah.
They will work a fan backlash angle so hard that I could see Tony Khan getting petitions from the rest of the inner circle, from the fan base, from other people to rescind it and bring Jericho back and force one more match, or just say, nah, that stipulation's null and void, and then turn it into an angle where MJF refuses to wrestle Jericho because he welched on it.
Yeah. I think that's a terrible idea. if you're gonna do a career match, you gotta stop.
It's true, but I mean, those things do happen a lot.
I've never heard of that happening.
I'm talking about career matches not being career matches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
you just gotta give it time so people semi-forget.
Exactly. But we shall see. I'm gonna go with MJF just because I kind of want to see what'll happen.
Yeah, I'm saying MJF.
I hate MJF, but at the same time, I'd also, as much as I like Chris Jericho, I'd also like to not see him wrestle.
I wouldn't go that far for me. It's more of just it works very well with the true building of talent. Like that's the ultimate put over.
I mean, there is definitely that more so than the I don't like watching Jericho wrestle. It's just one, I hate his fucking entrance. I'm fucking sick of it.
I don't hate it, but I hate the song.
I hate that fucking song. That's why I hate the entrance. If the entrance had a different song, I'd be okay with it. But I hate that goddamn song. He ruined that song before AEW even came into being for me. Because I remember listening to his podcast, leaving from work when I still worked in DC. And every day for I shit you not, or every episode, 2 times a week for a goddamn 6 months or more, he started off every fucking episode with that goddamn song.
Yeah, I remember that period of time.
And I was just like, I fucking hate this. I would reach up and turn the volume all the way down and estimate about when the song was done and then turn it back up. I was like, this sucks. I hate that song. It's garbage metal. And metal being the only term there. I'm going to call it garbage rock. Throwing metal in there is giving it too much credit. It's garbage rock. But yeah, hate that song. Hate hearing people sing it. I do enjoy Jericho, but at the same time...
You just sound like an old man. Get it?
I'm going to sound like an old man.
I get it. You hate the song, but I hate hearing people sing it. So you hate people having fun.
Oh, they can have all the fun you want. Doesn't mean I don't hate hearing it. By all means, have your fun. I won't like it, but I'm not going to tell you not to have fun.
Sure about that?
I didn't tell them not to have fun. I didn't turn around and say...
You're at the stage where if anyone steps on your lawn, you're going to tell them to get off it.
No, I didn't turn around and say...
At this phase of crotchety rant, that's literally what's going on.
Come on, man. I'm the one that told you about the Ding Dong Ditch kids that we had, and all I did was laugh at it. I was like, that's cool. Look at them. While Ashley was like, I don't like this. I don't feel safe. I was like, why?
What?
They're kids playing Ding Dong Ditch.
Oh, man.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, what are they going to do?
I mean, let them have
doorbell again?
Let them have their fun. This is funny as shit. I approve. To me, that's healthy. Healthy fun. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, ring the doorbell and run away. That's funny as shit.
Lady's going to be a Karen. Starts with fear and then it turns into hate.
But yeah. I think 90% of it just has to do with the fact that song is garbage.
The song is catchy, but I agree with you 100%, and I am not a fan of that song.
Yeah.
I enjoy hearing the people sing along because, I don't know, everyone's really happy when they do it. And that's always a good sign for the show and all that, but, I could easily just do without that song.
I can totally do without it. But, my opinion on the song and things related to said song, that's where the problem lies. Jericho himself? Nah. Outside of when he starts screaming. His high-pitched, I want to see the manager scream that he uses so often now. Whew, boy. Whew. It's gotten rough. But I just want to see what happens. See if Jericho's ego will allow him to actually go through with a careers over match. Over, aka no more AEW wrestling matches. Over.
Yeah.
I just wonder, because,
Or they'll pull the fucking, the Hulk Hogan Patriot angle. Mr. America angle.
Oh, God.
I'm not Chris Jericho.
I'm not Chris Jericho.
You're right. Chris Jericho can't wrestle anymore. I'm
Corazon de Leon.
I'm the Lion Tamer. I'm the Pain Maker. I say Chris Jericho won't wrestle. There's more to Chris Jericho than just Chris Jericho.
Oh, God. Talk about loopholes.
Oh, loophole? Well, if anyone's going to do a loophole, Jericho's the only one who can sell it.
Oh, yeah. Jericho knows more loopholes than anybody. He's been in the game long enough. I could see it. But I all in all, I'm just super fucking excited for this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I've already got it ordered. I'm ready to go watch it.
I know. I'm just looking forward to going to hang out with my buddy and watching it there. Got to figure out what the food deal is. We'll hammer all those deets out between now and then. But with that, we have pretty much covered all the topics for tonight, man.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much everybody. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this holiday that is All Out Weekend or Labor Day if you want to get particular about it. Listen to us everywhere. We are everywhere except for Pandora because they suck. So check us out. Search us up on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think it's Google Podcasts. Amazon. We are on all of them. So look for us. Find us. Listen to us. Like us. Subscribe to the show. All of these things. Tell your friends. If we suck, tell us. We'll try to get better. Whatever happens, just interact so that way we know when we can do what we want to do. Which is talk about wrestling with you guys at large and eventually be able to get into conventions for free.
There you go.
Secret
the ultimate endgame.
Secret endgame. Technically, I think we already have enough media presence to get a media pass to San Diego.
Oh, Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. So
we should work that angle.
I know. I'd have to look it up online, but I feel like we already have enough to be able to do so. But we'll look into that. Either way, everyone, enjoy. Thank you again to our boy, Falcon from Antipola, for helping us sound good. Thanks for creating that lovely, lovely Band-Aid at the end of last week's episode, because for some reason... Oh, God. He's back.
Yeah. He made an appearance.
He made a quick appearance of heavy breathing, just for chapel. But... But, yeah. Apparently the end of the show got cut last week, and Falcon had to patch it together from some older episodes and made it sound amazing. Dude's a miracle worker.
There we go.
Damn, technology can try to fuck us up as much as possible. And Falcon's like, nah, bitch. I run the technology here. I'm like, good man. Good man.
You, my bitch. Lick his fingers and slap it.
And updates, Falcon has said as of a little recently that things are looking good for Gameageddon Round 1. It is on the horizon. You can see it. It's starting to peak. The rays are coming from it.
Yeah.
So yes, soon you'll be able to hear the official first round of ATP versus P2P Gameageddon. Gameageddon redo round 1. Yeah. It'll be a good time. But either way, give us a listen. We are everywhere. Follow us. Check us out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We got all the things. It's at post2post. You know, that's with the number 2. Post2post _wrestling. That's the Facebook one. On Twitter, it's at post_wrestling. And then on Instagram, it's at post, the number 2, post _pod. I believe it's pod. It's pod or podcast. Try both.
If you're listening to hockey, you found the wrong show.
Yeah, if you're listening to hockey, you found the wrong show. Hell, I don't think that hockey podcast has released one in a long time.
I think they got like 4 episodes and they called it a day.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, we're the longest running one at 102 episodes now.
Right.
We're on the climb, everybody, to the next milestone. Yay! But anyway, have a good one. We'll see. Enjoy All Out Weekend. It's the best holiday of the year. Bye.